Hi Aquarius, this is KACEE with your July monthly reading. Thank you so much for tuning in and welcome to all the new viewers. SHAE and I are so happy to have all of you here with us. She will have a video that's going to pop up at the end of this one for your sign, so please check for that. She does give a different perspective. So I'm going to be honest with you Aquarius, the reason why you guys are last in my list is because I've been trying to do a video for you guys for days and it is just not coming out. The messages are not clicking. I don't know what kind of energy I'm getting from you guys right now. It seems to be all over the place. All of your readings, though, are coming up with changes, moving forward, but there's also something that's pulling you back for some reason. So I'm going to give it all the tries I have in me to get you a reading for the month before we get into August. And we're going to start with the Temple Path. Again, this is all about moving forward, taking forward motion into something that is actually very spiritual as well. So I think that you're being called to open up spiritually in whatever you're doing right now. And so that you can move forward, you can leave the past behind you and give that forgiveness to yourself and others for things that have happened. I'm really getting an intense feeling for you guys that it is a long time coming for this. This healing has been laying in wait for you to be ready for it. And I think this is the time that you guys are able to take the opportunity that's presented. Here we have the Death card in reverse. Now, most of my readings, I've been leaving them in the upright, but I feel that the Death in reverse is where you're resistant to the change. And that is the energy that you've been in, is that you're trying so hard to keep things the way they are so that you can have the control. And change is all about releasing the control, letting things happen for the way they're supposed to happen, opening yourself up to new beginnings, and being honest with those beginnings, and being very trustworthy in the beginnings that they're from spirit. If we try to hold on to things too long and too tight, that's a negative energy, and that's when things kind of blow up in our face. So we kind of have to open up and let things happen and not try to control what the outcome is. Have faith that you're on the right path, and I think that if you open yourself up to spirit, that is going to alleviate a lot of stress and tension and anxiety that you might be feeling right now. Let's pull some advice or challenges for you for the month of July. All right, guys, sorry about that. Oh, well, trapped in fear, we just talked about that. You know, having too much control is giving you anxiety. It's making you stressed out. Not being able to manipulate the outcome for how you want or how you think you want it to be. Whether this is relationships, job situations, family issues. Sometimes we just have to let it go and give it to God so that they can fix whatever is happening, or they can bring you down a different path. Rest and rejuvenate. Now, this card is also about meditation and being connected to source. Taking that time away from your busy life, clearing your mind, clearing your energies, and just really letting the messages from spirit come in and sink into your psyche. Really work with what's coming at you. If you feel that this is something from spirit, it may be something that you have to look into, because if, like I said, the more you try to fight it, the harder it's going to be. Patience and planning, right next to rest and rejuvenate. Yes, you have to be very patient with this, because when we can't control the outcome, we become very hyper and full of anxiety and trying to move forward. And, you know, we can't always have that energy within us. It drives us bananas. It keeps us in fear. You know, you have death in reverse and then you have fear. So spirit is telling you it's time to let it go. Movement, choices, and decisions. Yes. You have to make the right decisions. You have to make the right decision for yourself, for your family, and everyone involved. You know, that is for the higher good. But some of the decisions that may be presented to you are from your old way of thinking. So keep that in mind, that as you start to expand and you open up to source, God, however that resonates with you. You know, this is a general reading. Make sure that the choices that you're making are from spirit and not from our ego, and not trying for the control, because we want to move away from that. We want to open up to a new door that is going to bring in abundance, that if anything does happen, you have plenty of resources to fall back on in case of an emergency, a sickness, or a job loss. You know, we need to be abundant right now. We need to be very solid right now. So we don't want to resist the change of listening to spirit. And here we have 10 of Swords in the reverse. This card, in this card, are very similar, but in reverse, it's telling me that you're letting go of the stress, you're letting go of the anxiety, of the betrayal feeling, whatever it is that you need to release and let go of. That is what is going to dissipate. All that stuff you've been hanging on to and carrying around with you all this time is going to release, and that is going to open up new doors for you. 5 of Coins in reverse, feeling that you're coming out of being left out in the cold, regaining your stability, having things be very warm and loving and secure for yourself, and making that happen. Queen of Swords in reverse is being overly emotional and codependent. So if you're codependent on this energy, this person, this job, this is where you need to be codependent on spirit, and not of the earthly demands or the earthly things that we have around us. We want to make sure that we're codependent with spirit first and foremost, so we listen to the right messages. 9 of Swords. You have 8 of Swords, 9 of Swords, and 10 of Swords in reverse. 9 of Swords is telling me that there's still a mental conflict that's going back and forth about what decisions to make, how you're supposed to move forward, and that is keeping you in a crazy energy right now. This is, again, where you need to make the changes and give it to God, because spirit, angels, all of your team is working really hard for you to go down this path. They're trying to push you down the path, they're trying to pull you down the path, and for some reason you guys are trying to back up away from that path. And it's because we're giving control to something we can't see. It's having faith in something that is not tangible, and that is very important. Now we have Death in the upright. Death in the upright is telling me that there's endings and changes and new beginnings, and it's all the way you think about these new opportunities. And if you're flipping out because they're not what you think they're supposed to be, or they look too stressful, and you're going back and forth in your mind, this is where you really need to do the meditation, and you need to be patient, and you need to plan all in the right path. This is a beautiful message about releasing, but you have to have the confidence in yourself right now, and the confidence in spirit that this is where it's supposed to be taking you. And I believe that for some of you who resonate with this, you understand what I mean when I say that you're trying to control the outcome and you're not flowing with the journey. Yeah, we have Page of Pentacles, new opportunities, new beginnings, new foundations, new jobs. So there's going to be something beautiful coming to you once you do release that anxiety of the control, of not wanting to move forward and not making those changes. Changes is, you're talking to a Libra here, and Libras hate change, okay? They hate new things coming in because they have so much to balance out. They have so much to think about. They have, their brains work overload when there's a bunch of changes going on. And I believe that you're more in that Libra energy right now. But when you have the new opportunities, guys, you also have the World coming in right next to it. Very stable, very calm energy, very knowing energy. It's like you take the world by the horns. It's like you go after what you want. Temperance in reverse. You're not seeing the bigger picture here. You see little blips and blobs of what's coming through, but you're not seeing the overall bigger picture. Why your soul was incarnated on earth at this time, in this body, with this family, with this career. You're not seeing why you're here. And that's what you need to expand on. Why are you here? What is the bigger picture? Why did your soul come to earth? And what is the message you need to bring back? And what is the big, huge test that you have to take and overcome so that you can raise your vibration? Wheel of the Year in reverse is telling me that you're at the bottom of the cycle, starting something new, starting from scratch. So this is all new to you. You don't know what is coming up. We have illusions here with the moon card. This can also mean that you're going to shed light on whatever it is that's holding you back. So keep in faith, because that is where the light is going to shine from. And now you have the 9 of Cups. This is all about getting all your wishes. So when you release this energy that you're trying so hard to hang on to, and you're hanging on to it so tight, once you release it, it kind of opens up this huge path of new things. All the things that you've been trying so hard to get at, but you've been taking the wrong door to get to them, it will be illuminated for you. You'll know exactly which one to do. You'll know exactly which house to buy. You'll know exactly which job to take, which person to marry. You know, whatever it is for you, you will know, because you've let go of whatever you've been bringing through all these years to this point. You're going to stop fighting about it. 7 of Wands in reverse. This is where you will stop the fight. It's not necessary anymore. You give up that fight. It's not working for you. You know there are better things for you. And you are so victorious. Aquarius, 6 of Wands in the upright. People will see how victorious you are. You have won the battle. You're also ready to fight more. You're ready for this now, because you've let it go. You've given it to God. You're trusting your instincts. You're trusting your intuition. You're trusting the people around you, because you're making a new choice. New ideas are forming. New way of thinking is happening. You know, you're amazing in your own right. You guys are very much the free spirit. So when you guys get in that zone of not thinking clearly and trying to overly control a situation, that's not who you are deep down inside, and that's where you're battling. But once you let it go, you forgive, you move on, you let all that betrayal and backstabbing and stress and anxiety out of your life, you're able to see things from a different perspective. You're open to those changes, which is represented with the Death in reverse as well as the Death in the upright. You do a complete flip on what is going on around you during the month of July. And here we have understanding. Yes, when we talked about you not seeing the bigger picture as to why you're here and what your job is down here in order to raise your vibration, it dawns on you. You get it. You trust it. You know it. It feels right. It makes you motivated to move forward and to learn more and to get more of that joy, because once you get rid of this energy, you have beautiful energy coming in right behind it. All brand new beginnings, all new choices. Choose the new things. Don't choose the stuff that you've been doing before, because it hasn't worked. And Spirit is asking you to trust in yourself and to trust in them. Your angel message, guys, is diet is important. And it reads, Dear Archangel Raphael, thank you for guiding me to make positive eating and drinking choices and for reducing or eliminating my cravings for unhealthful substances. Now this to me is, yes, eating right, sleeping right, self-care, doing the rest and rejuvenate. But this also means feeding your psyche the right information, looking at things from a different perspective, letting go of things that don't work for you anymore, letting go of the hurts, the regrets, the what ifs, the how comes, letting it all go, because that's not working for you and it's not raising your vibration. It's keeping you in a very stressed energy, and you want to get past that. And I do believe that you'll find a way to do that, Aquarius. It's sometime during the month of July. Again, I'm sorry that your message was late this month. You guys were a challenge for me, but now I understand why, because this is such intense energy and Spirit wanted me to get the message correct. I would love to hear from you and see where you guys are at. So if you want to leave a comment, that's great. But if you want it personal, you can always email me at sistersvisiontarot@gmail.com. If you haven't liked and subscribed yet, I would love to have you back, so please do so. Take care.